Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you much. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Surface structure improvement. So yesterday we have discussed about this surface structure improvement, which is comes under the one of the important post processing method. Uh, so in detail we have discussed about this surface structure improvement in the last class. We have been discussed already. So just I will take you into the just uh, just for the glance. The common undesirable surface structure features include stage steps, powder adhesion, the pill pattern from the material extrusion system, and weakness marks from the support material removal. So we have already discussed these things. These things we need to rectify it, or we will take the necessary remedies to overcome these problems, or these problems are common undesired surface structures which we can expect from the 3D object. All these such kinds of undesired structures look like very poor and very bad looking wise. Aesthetic point of view, if they are looking very poor, so that's the need. We need to clear out all this. We need to overcome from such kinds of the structure, undesirable structures, to make ensure or to improve our surface should be uh, well and smooth. Hope you understand. So now I'm coming to the accuracy improvement. What kind of the accuracy we need to improve from the finished product? So some of the 3D techniques or 3D products, they doesn't need any kinds of the accuracy improvements. That is depending upon the process which we can use, and quality of the material which we can use, and technology which we can use. The few technology in 3D system, uh, once we produce the component through such kinds of the systems, the produced component doesn't require any kinds of the accuracy improvements. The 100% of dimensional accuracy the accuracy means may sometimes dimensional accuracy, surface accuracy and surface structure accuracy, to as many as depends upon the parameters. Once we can produce the some 3D products in some few machines, the machines are producing the quality of the products. Such products don't need for the further post processing. Which are the machines are there? They don't want a post processing. So such kinds of the 3D machines or 3D technology will produce the quality of the 3D components. There is no need to take another post processing like accuracy improvements, all these things. See, here we have sources from the inaccuracy. What are the reason for the inaccuracy present in the 3D product? That's one is process dependent, other one is material dependent. Suppose if we got, suppose we feel that, suppose we have a results of inaccuracy present in the 3D product. Okay, let's start finding how it could be, or how it could be happened. What would be the reason? How we can solve this? And what are the sources for the reason of inaccuracy present in the 3D product? That's very important. That's what here the major two sources which we can get the inaccuracy present in the 3D product. Inaccuracy means, suppose some people are looking surface wise, structure wise, some people are looking the dimensional wise, some people are looking by the shape and size, some people are looking overall appearance of the product. So the customer, suppose that customer or findings, there will be the inaccuracy in the component. There will be the dimensional inaccuracy, the dimensional inaccuracy, surface inaccuracy, and structure inaccuracy. Overall looking aesthetic point of that 3D product is not well, sir. Then we need to find out the, so what are the sources to generate the inaccuracy in the 3D product. So see here we have some sources. That is one, process dependent sources, other one is a material dependent sources. Okay, process dependent sources means what are the what exactly the process dependent inaccuracy sources. See, the process dependent inaccuracy can be improved by a good operator skill. Definitely the process, that process engineer, or that person to control the process is very important here. If that particular person who is controlling the entire process, he's not a skilled person, he's not a technical person, there will be the chances of inaccuracy present in the 3D product. As a result, we can expect the poor quality. Hope you understand. That's what the whole that process who is controlling, he should take care about the entire process. He how to have that capability to control the process and make ensure to a quality products, making sure to produce the quality and accuracy products. So that's the reason that we need to assign the skill operator, hmm? Skill operator, by using the automatic real-time so control strategies to monitor. And so what are the plans for this processing engineer? By using the automatic real-time control strategy to monitor and control the process, the one can increase the accuracy. That's what he make ensure that he should control the entire process, he should check out, and he should monitor, and he should take the necessary activities or necessary actions to make ensure the quality product should be produced. And material dependent, so I hope you understand the process. There is a main source which we can get the inaccuracy present in the 3D product. That is what process, your process is not properly carrying or not properly working, we may get the defects present in the 3D product. And material dependent, the second one is material dependent. Sometimes process are perfect, that operating engineer or technician is a well knowledge and well skilled and well experienced person, may sometimes, but the second reason is material dependent. So material dependent, what I can say it is here, the material dependent inaccuracy includes shrinkage effects, which can be compensated, which can be compensated Okay, just a minute, I will back, just 2 minutes. Hello, hello, I'm audible,
Yes,
dear students?
yes,
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 you're audible.
yes, yes, sir. Thank you very much for your patience. Just sorry for the interrupt. See here, what happens, that process, once we can look into the process, once the process is perfect, we cannot expect the inaccuracy present in the product. And second thing is material. Suppose we are assigning the experienced person and skill person and good technicians to control the process. Okay, that's right. But the second problem we can expect in the material dependent. Here, what kind of the material we can use? Suppose some people are using the poor quality materials. Sometimes some materials has a metallurgical problems. Once we create the 3D product, we need to send the 3D product into the cooling process or drying process. Immediately they get shrink. This we can say it is or what we can say it is a metallurgical problems or metallurgical issues. There is a lot of materials has a metallurgical issues due to due to that reason, or that may leads to produce or generate the inaccuracy present in the 3D components. For example, dimensional shrinkage problems. Once the material gets shrink, we can get the undersize of the 3D product. Sometimes surface structure will be very rough and number of flaws. Sometimes we can expect these some blowholes, or sometimes we can expect the pinholes, small stage steps like this. There are such problems we can expect from the material also. So what I'm saying here, the sources of the inaccuracy, there are major two reasons. One is process, how we are controlling, how we are maintaining, how we are monitoring the process, the way we can produce the quality product. And second, the selection of material is very important. The before processing the 3D, before processing, before starting our AM process, we need to check out twice the quality of the material, what kind of the material it is. Based on that material, we have to have the basic idea or knowledge about the material. Sometimes the material will good, but the operating temperature and pressure will be depends. So based on the material type, we can use the process parameters. That process parameters has to change depends upon the kind of the materials. Sometimes we are choosing the poor quality materials, so that is the reason we can expect the inaccuracy present in the 3D product. So we have to take care about the material selection also. And based on the material selection, we need to take the future activities which are need to produce the 3D product. I hope you understand. Here I am writing the remedies: pre-processing STL file and machining strategy. So there are another two remedies which I am writing here, which are also important, and also another two. There are four remedies. One is we need to take the process engineer should be a skilled and technician, a good technician or well experienced. And second, we need to select the quality of the materials. These are two remedies, and the third remedy is the processing of STL file. Pre-processing of STL file means that we have to take a trial, free trial. We can say it is a pre-trial. We can take the 3D models, transfer into the STL file. Then that STL file, let them to go for the AM process. Let's see what happens. That is what pre-processing of STL files. Take the 3D models from the 3D CAD models, transfer them into STL file, then let them to go for the AM process. Let's see what happens. What will be the results? You can see the results. That results are up to the mark, or we can get a quality product. You can check the parameters, everything. That's what we can say. It is a pre-processing. Unless we are not starting blindly the 3D production. So take a one trial. Let them to process. That's what we can say. It is a pre-processing of STL file. Then you can check out the parameters, setting parameters, quality of the product. Once our process or material, everything will be correct, then you can take a post process. Let's start the production based on the results of the previous pre-post process. This is one remedy. And second remedy, machining strategy. What will be the machining strategy? How we can set the strategy in machining? Very simple it is. The machining strategy is very important for finishing the additive manufacturing parts and tools, considering both accuracy and machine efficiency. The adaptive raster milling of the surface plus hole drilling and sharp edge counter, the machining can fulfill needs to most of the parts. This is the one example I can share here. So this is it means we have to set the machining strategy. Machining strategy means the feed rate, feed speed, and efficiency of the machine. Sometimes efficiency of the machine is less or insufficient machines which we can use to produce our 3D products. That may also causes or leads to take the inaccuracy components will be produced. Based on your quantity, you can choose the suitable 3D technology. Here also very important, selection of the 3D machines is a very important. That is depending upon the quantity which we are going to produce. The small quantity which we are going to produce per small quantity applications, which machine is suitable, you have to choose the machines. Sometimes what happens, our quantity we need to produce to be produce the big, but we are selecting the small parameter machines or small machines, smaller in size machines. So that may lead to produce the inaccuracy presence in the 3D product. So this is what machine strategy. So high efficiency machines and high sophisticated machines and automatic machines like this we will take the, and also the condition of the machine is also very important. So before we need to check out the condition of the machines and all the parameters are properly working or not, everything will be checked and then we can start processing. Hope you understand, these are the remedies which we can take to overcome the inaccuracy present in the 3D product. I hope you understand this is what about the inaccuracy. This is what one kind of the important post process which we can need to take. This, or sometimes we are helpless. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, dear students, what happens? Sometimes we are helpless. Sometimes we are helpless. We are in hurry. We have a number of products we need to produce. In that cases, we are producing the components. That produced component, they may chances they get some inaccuracy present in the 3D component. Okay, there will be the chances, or there will be the allowances is there. At least 5 to 10% of accuracy we can expect. Not more than 20, not more than 20 inaccuracy present in the 3D product, that will be rejected. There will be the permission, there will be the allowances, 3 to 5% of inaccuracy present in the 3D product. Okay, no problem. We can take the we can rectify it in post processing process. Someone is unmuting his mic. Please do mute, please. Okay. No, that's what. So sometimes we can helpless. We are producing the inaccuracy components. No problem. That percentage of inaccuracy should not exceed more than 5%. If it is less than the 5%, T through 5%, okay, it will be. So it will be worked out. It will be accepted. Then that component we need to take the like this post processing. In post processing, we can rectify it. We can clear out that. If more than 5% of accuracy present in the 3D product, we will not accept. So that product, definitely that product straight away, that product is reject, will be reject. Hope you understand this accuracy importance. Now, coming to the aesthetic improvement. Yes, this is one of the important aspects the customers are expecting and looking forward to, the beauty of the 3D product. Yes. Aesthetic means beauty. That's what I can tell you. Many of the customers are looking forward to the product should be like that, like this. That should be a matte surface. That would be a very smooth surface. That coating will be nano coating, or shining, or coloring wise, design wise. They want to always trendy products and trendy components look like very antique pieces like that they are expecting. So as per their expectations or their taste and their demands, we need to produce the 3D objects, right? So 3D parts colored by dipping some, for example, one example now I'm sharing here what it is. Some people sometimes the people are expecting our color should be like this. Some people are expecting matte surface. Some people are expecting shine surface. Some people are expecting colored over the structure. Some people are expecting in design. There's a way the different customers are expecting it different manner. So here one example I have to take here, that is what 3D parts colored by simply dipping the part into a die of the appropriate color. Simple case, suppose the people are expecting the different colors. Sir, we want different colors over the structure. Then we can take that 3D product dipping into the color tub. There will be the color tub, or there will be the color tank, color different color tanks are available. We need to create that. Then we can take that produced 3D component to dip into the tank as per their color indentation. Right? Sometimes we need to spray the colors over the part. Sometimes we need to dip into the bath. Sometimes we need to take the some coating nozzles or spraying nozzles, which we need to create create the required required color over the structure. Hope you understand. That is one thing. Second, one more is a chrome plating. Some people are expecting performance wise, aesthetic wise as well as performance wise. They need aesthetic point of view, aesthetic aspects as well as the performance aspects they are expecting. In that cases, we need to take the entire 3D product is dipped into the chrome plating or chrome bath. We have so chromium solution is there. We have in one particular container, we need to take the chromium solution. So we need to dip the entire 3D product into the chrome plate, chrome solution or chromium solution. Then we need to dry out that 3D product. So this process we can say it is chrome plating. So chrome plating has two reasons. One is look like aesthetically it's look like very look like good, as well there will be the performance also, because once we done the chrome plating over the 3D product, or that 3D product get by the chrome plating, their wear resistance capability will be improved. Definitely the wear resistance capability will be improved, and that surface structure becomes very hard. That's the reason sometimes the customers are indented to us to expecting the chrome plating over the structure of the entire 3D product. Because of this reason, that wear resistance will be improved, and that surface structure becomes very hard. And hope you understand this is that these are one more post processing aesthetic improvement. Now coming to the next one is the preparation for use as a pattern. So this also we can take into the post processing. As we can see the image, this is a very complex in shape. See this what we can see in the slide, this figure, this is the ring. So this ring jewelry ring it is, this is very complex in shape. We can create such kinds of the rings with the help of the 3D technology. This is very difficult to create such kinds of the designs. It's a very complex in shape. In traditional way we can also produce, but that will take the much time and much investment of money for these things. Once we adopt the 3D printing, so a fraction of second we can manufacturing such kinds of the complex in shape product. So that's what the preparation for as a use as a pattern. This is also one kind of the post processing. This is our 3D product. This is the final finished jewelry or a ring, which is made up of sometimes platinum or gold. Now it's the platinum ring, but this which is made up of platinum material. By the pattern, this pattern, what we are by producing this ring, we are using the pattern. That pattern is made up of 3D printing technology. Here we have the pattern. This pattern is made up of 3D technology. This is we can say it is a preparation. Though we need to prepare the patterns to create such kinds of 3D products, such kinds of the complex 3D products. This is by 3D technology. This is a polymer pattern, which is made up of FDM process, fuse deposition process. Hope you understand. This technology used by to produce this pattern is the FDM process, fuse deposition method. They are creating these kinds of the complex pattern. These patterns are producing the such kinds of the complex jewelry parts. I hope you understand. This is one kind very important post processing method. Most commonly, we are using this 3D product for investment casting. These are all investment castings. So instead of using the wax, which we can use the this polymer pattern. In investment casting, which we are using the wax, but using the wax is very difficult to handle the wax. That process is very hectic and very lengthy, and very maintenance is very important, and so it's a very difficulty to maintain. Visibility is not possible in the wax casting. So we overcome to that wax casting directly. You can take this 3D product. You can generate such kinds of the jewelry processes. Now to avoid that wax or sorry, investment casting, now directly we can go for the 3D castings. Yes. The last one, that is what we can say. It is the post processing is property enhancement using a thermal technique. Yes, this is a very important thing. So once we create the 3D components, don't think that they are very perfect all the time. We need to improve their physical and mechanical properties. That's what property enhancement using the thermal technique. Here we can see the two figures. This is the entire is a 3D. This entire structure, which is made by the 3D technology. This we need to enhance the mechanical property of this structure, as we need to send into the oven. So thermomechanical treatment it is. Here we have some small components, small domestical components, which we are producing by the SLA process, stereolithography, or sometimes which we can produce these kinds of materials for FDM process. Either we can go for the FDM process or SLS process, because these two processes are almost they are going to produce the polymer components only. We are so most commonly we are using these two processes, SLS process and FDM process, are for polymer production. Here we have some polymer domestic applications. Now these are the 3D products. These 3D products need to take into the oven or temperature enhancement, or we need to take the thermal technique to improve their mechanical or physical properties. So here we have a big structure needs to put into the oven, because the property enhancement, what kind of the property we can enhance by doing the thermal treatment. Definitely we know all the thermomechanical treatment. So once we heat them in elevated temperature, there will be the dryness presenting, there will be the wet content or wet percent will be present in this polymer materials, or also there will be the residual stresses, some residual stresses present in the, that's we can say it is the work stresses are present in the 3D product here or here. Work stresses, the reason of the work stresses present in the 3D product, that is one reason. Second reason, there will be the moisture content present in the 3D product, and there will be some other environmental effects or environmental contents, some dust or other environmental contaminations which are present in the 3D product. Okay, so we need to clear out, or we need to overcome for all these such kinds of the problem, because these contaminations and these moisture content and these residual stresses which may lead to create the failure in the material, so sudden failure in the material, and as a result their service life of their 3D product will be reduced. Hope you understand. These are the reasons we cannot expect the long or more service life of the 3D product. We have to enhance the service life of the 3D product. Definitely we need to take out this thermal technique. Once we process into the thermal technique all these components, definitely there will be the, suppose there will be the moisture content in the product that will be dried out. That one reason. Second reason, some contaminations which are from the environment, which leads to take the defects present in or defects present in the material, or they may cause us the our 3D product. Those also once we can put into the oven, or we can put into one, we can they are suspend into the some elevated temperature, this contaminations is gone out or burn out. Or some other work stresses, we can call them as an residual stresses are present in the 3D product. So that may also cause us to take the 3D components will failure, sudden failures, sudden durability of the 3D product will be very less. The lifespan of the component will be very short due to such kinds of the reasons. That's what we need to take them into the small amount of thermal technique or thermal heat treatment for enhancement of mechanical property. Definitely we can after the heat treatment, you can take them in, you can check out the physical property and mechanical property of the 3D product. Definitely it would be a very improving manner. Definitely we can improve the mechanical properties. I hope you understand these are the 7 steps which we are involved in the additive manufacturing, post processing. In additive manufacturing, these are the 7 post processing which we need to take. All these 7 post processing methods are not all the time. Sometimes we have a 3D products, 3D technology, 3D machines. We never look into the post processing for that produced 3D product. Such kinds of the 3D products we can get from that machines. We have that kinds of machines also. This post processing not for all the time. This is for some kinds of the some few 3D techniques or 3D methods which we need to take this post processing. Some are very sophisticated machines we have in the market which are going to produce the 3D components. There is no need to take any kinds of the post processing techniques. Directly you can send the products to the market. All the aspects, accuracy, structure improvement, everything we can generate through the 3D machine only. No need to take a support structure, no need to take a post processes. All the aspects, looking to all the aspects, accuracy aspects, aesthetic point of view, structural improvements, physical properties, mechanical properties, everything will be perfect and will be up to the mark. And hope you understand. These are the 7 post processing which we have in the 3D technology. Now I'm going to the next part of this first module. This is the last part. Here we have a selection method, and finally we will discuss some real cases for the application of the 3D technology. Before that, we will finish up this selection methods for the part. That's how so we can select the methods for part producing. This is not easy to select the methods. Simply we cannot select the methods blindly. We will not take the you can take that machine, this machine. No, not like that. There will be the big discussion between the customer, design and process engineers. There will be the big discussion, there will be the very important there will be the big discussion between the big argument between the customers, engineers and process engineers, design engineers and process engineers. How best I can select, how best we can produce. These are all the discussion, because that customer has some idea. That's what in the beginning only we have discussed the conceptualization and whatever the 3D products we have, we are publishing, that entire this 3D technique is depending upon the conceptualization. That conceptualization is from the customers. They have some idea in their mind. They are explaining us. That is what we can call it as a discussion between the customer and engineers. Hope you understand. So based on their conceptualization, we need to create the 3D product, but this is not easy. Simply you can take that machine, this machine, you can take that material, this materials, you can produce the 3D product. No, not like that. This will be the so important meeting it is. So this is the which includes this selection method for the part is includes decision theory in between the customers and the engineers, and options. We have to create options. We cannot pick only one process. We have to take some alter machines and alter methods. Suppose suppose something unfortunately something will happen for the first option, so we can take the second option. So the decision theory, which involves the options, expectations, and preferences. Hope you understand. In decision theory, there will be the customer is there. That customer is telling us to, I want like this, and because these are the expectations. Hope you understand. Yes, expectations from the customers. I want like this and like that. You need to produce the components in the in like way. These are the expectations from the customers, and also the expectations are not only from the customers. These expectations from the design engineers and process engineers. We also have some expectations. Okay, we need to take this machine for what he's saying. The customer is saying like that. Oh, okay, as per his intent, we need to take this machine. This is what we can expectation. This techniques, this machine, and these parameters, these materials. These are the expectations and options. The n number of machines are available. N number of 3D printings are available. We need to take 2 or 3 options. We cannot depending upon only one options. The number of options is there, and you need to understand each options and which one is very compatible, which one is very easy, the which way we need to travel, and we need to reach the destination, because we have 3 to 4 ways to reach our home. That is what we can call it as an options. There is no we have a lot of options. We have a lot of ways to reach our home or to reach our destinations, but in which way we need to reach the destinations within the time, that's very important here. Not only to the time, we need to approach the quality also. So here we have a lot of options, and also in 3D technology we have a number of options. Which option is suitable to reach our destinations with all aspects. We need to approach the quality, and quality we need to not only to the easy option. However, it will be take us into the quality needs. Hope you understand. That's what we need to select the correct option before producing the 3D product, which involves in the decision theory. And second one is expectations. Yes, the expectations from the customers, from the different engineers. All these expectations, based on the expectations, we need to take the options. Okay, these options here, these options are depending upon the expectations. Suppose we have 2 to 3 options, that which option is approaching our all the expectations. We have to approach all the expectations from the customers, as well as the entire process expectations. That's very important. And these options are depending upon the expectations. We look into the expectations. What are the expectations is there? How we can produce. After that, preferences. Yes, preferences. Some customers directly they are prepare their techniques. No, sir. Last time we are using the we indented or we suggested to take these kinds of the machines and these kinds of the techniques. So that's better for getting what we are expecting. Directly, the customers are given us to a preference, or else we have options. The both options are right. Both options are take us into the correct approach or correct in direction, but which one is prepare you first? That's very important. Here this decision theory is also include the preferences. Sometimes what happens, some peoples are based on the preferences which we are producing, we are helpless. Sometimes we cannot look into the expectations. So only for the preferences which we are using the machines and then we are creating the 3D product. Sometimes it may produce the quality product or may not. But we are helpless. We are taking the as per the choice. That is what preference choice. Sometimes we are taking the expectation based on the expectation. Sometimes we are selecting the everything will be based on the preferences. Sometimes there will be chances in the preferences. We may or may not produce the quality product. And hope you understand. But sometimes helpless. The customers are giving the preferences to take this only. Your first preference will be this machine. So no, we are helpless. We can take that and we will produce the 3D components. And this is what decision theory. This decision theory involve all these activities. And second is approaches to determining the feasibility. Yes, this is very important. Now once, okay, as per the options or as per the expectations or as per the preferences, now you are fixing for 3D technology. Yes, this technology which we can use to produce these kinds of the 3D product. Okay, that's okay, leave it. That's right. Okay, now that first step, in decision theory, you have decided we are taking this machine and this technology. No problem. Now coming to the approach to determining feasibility. Now we have to determine to produce the 3D component without having any obstacles or without having any difficulty. We can produce easily. Okay, as per the expectations, now we are selecting one machine. Then the second thing is to produce the 3D component without having any difficulty. So some people are giving the based on the preferences. We will take the machines. We are selecting everything. Then the second step is we have to execute that through that machine. That's what we need to determine the feasibility. We need to determine the way that travel towards to the quality, travel towards to the easier manner, smoothing. That's what the second step. We need to create the feasibility, means easy to operate, easy to process, easy to finish, easy to maintain, easy to help. All these we need to create this feasibility. That's what we can say approach to determining the feasibility. Now this feasibility involves some 4 activities. One is a given. Okay, given means concept, right? That includes one, that is a given. Given means concept. What will be the concept? And second one, identify. Okay, we have to identify the everything, parameters. Hello. Okay, now it's time out. 10:15 is there. Okay, dear students, now I will wind up this class now because now it's 10:15. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the in detail in approaches to determine the feasibility, how which we can create the easy way to produce the 3 components. That's very, very important, that we can discuss in coming classes, and also approaches to selection. Okay, now we'll wind up. You can join the end of the class. And also I have uploaded, I have been posted this model 1 to 4 in AM notes. So go for the AM channel. Here there will be the notes option is there. You can click the notes option. So there will be a window pop up. In that we have 4 models notes. So you can refer the notes. Okay. Then videos also I have posted in the MS file. Right, and also inform your students to so attend the classes, please, because many of them are absent. So please do inform your friends, attend the classes. Now I will wind up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Wait, I will download my attendance list. Okay. Yes.